You know, if you really want to get a handle on the AI revolution, you don't need to look at a full year or even a month. All you really need is one single day. So for this explainer, we're going to do just that. We're freezing time on November 13th, 2025, just to see everything that was happening all at once.
I mean, it's the question on everyone's mind, right? Just how fast is all of this really moving? Well, the answer, it's almost certainly way, way faster than you think. The pace is, honestly, it's staggering.
So yeah, we're going to do something a bit different here. We're just going to take a 24-hour snapshot, a look at the news headlines from one single day to see the entire AI ecosystem in motion. We're talking about the money, the crazy competition, the actual impact it's having on real life, and yeah, the growing pains too.
And here's the core idea. AI isn't some far-off future thing anymore. It's so baked into everything that you can see all its biggest themes playing out in just one day's news cycle. It's like this giant global machine with all these moving parts, and they're all just spinning faster and faster.
All right, so first up, the competition. And let me tell you, on this one day, November 13th, the headlines were just buzzing. It was all about the moves and countermoves from the global tech giants, every single one of them fighting for their slice of the AI pie.
Over in China, the race is just intense. On this one day, you have Baidu dropping its latest AI models and chips. That's a huge power move, right? Just trying to stay ahead. Meanwhile, Alibaba announces they're totally overhauling their main AI app, which is a direct shot at ChatGPT, no question. But this isn't just a China story. Back in the US, you've got Microsoft playing a totally different game. They're getting smarter about their own infrastructure by learning from what OpenAI is doing with custom chips. It's like a global chess match where every single move is critical.
Okay, let's really dig into this because this is a super important point. Not everyone is fighting the same war here. On one side, you've got what you could call the arms race. That's companies like Baidu and Alibaba just pouring billions into building these enormous, powerful foundational models. Basically, the giant AI brains. But then you've got a company like Tencent. On this same day, they posted a 15% jump in revenue. So what's their secret? They're not trying to build the biggest rocket ship. Nope, they're just focused on putting AI to work in really practical ways for the millions of people who already use their apps. It's a really fascinating contrast, and it just goes to show you there's more than one way to win this thing.
So, how does all this happen? Where does the fuel for this fire come from? Well, you've got to follow the money. And this global race is being bankrolled by an almost unbelievable amount of cash. The money trail from just November 13th, it tells a wild story all on its own.
$29.3 billion. Just let that number sit there for a second. What on earth could possibly be worth that much?
Get this, that number, that's the valuation for a company called Cursor. It's an AI coding startup that didn't even exist before 2023. In just 2 years, it hits a valuation of almost $30 billion. I mean, that right there tells you everything you need to know about the speed and the sheer scale of the money pouring into AI right now.
And this is where the story gets even more interesting, you know? The money isn't just going to the usual big-name suspects. On this one day, we saw a $23 million investment into a company called Netic. What do? They use AI to help out plumbers and roofers. Why? Because that's a huge market that's finally getting a tech upgrade. At the same time, a German company, FMC, raised 100 million euros to build energy-saving memory chips for AI. That's the deep, deep tech stuff, trying to solve AI's massive energy problem. Then you've got Sweet Security raising $75 million for AI-powered cloud security. Because hey, more AI means more stuff to protect. And then you have giants like Blackstone and SoftBank talking about funding an Indian cloud startup. The takeaway is crystal clear. The money is flowing into every single layer of the economy, from your local roofer all the way to the most advanced hardware on the planet.
Okay, so all this talk about corporate strategy and venture capital, it can feel a little abstract, right? But that money? That's what's actually funding the stuff we can see and touch, the real, tangible ways AI is showing up in our world. So let's pivot a bit. Let's talk about where the rubber really meets the road, looking again at the news from just this one day.
So meet Melissa Tokmak. She's the founder of Netic. Yep, the same company that just raised $23 million. And her inspiration wasn't some grand sci-fi vision of artificial general intelligence. No, it was the completely relatable frustration of just trying to hire a contractor to work on her house. She saw a real-world problem and realized, hey, an AI customer service agent could solve this for thousands of small businesses. And she was right.
And this is the crucial part, right? It's all about how this tech is actually being used.
After a tornado hit, Netix AI helped a local roofing company handle a flood of more than 600 calls in 90 minutes. That's incredible. On the same day, the new OnePlus 15 smartphone was announced, and its big feature, on-device AI, running Google's Gemini right there in your hand, no cloud needed, making it super fast and private. And then, there's this. Headlines also revealed that companies are now using AI to write employee performance reviews. For better or for worse, it's happening. So yeah, it's in our communities, it's in our pockets, and it's definitely in our offices.
But look, a transformation this big and this fast, it's never going to be smooth. It just doesn't happen without some friction. And the very same day's news that showed all this incredible progress, it also put a big bright spotlight on the challenges and the very real concerns. So you've got this amazing tension playing out between the hype and the reality. On one hand, you've got that almost $30 billion valuation for Cursor. Mind-blowing. But on the exact same day, a top analyst who covers the chip market, the literal foundation of AI, is out there warning about AI exuberance. He's basically saying these valuations are getting really hard to justify. The boom is absolutely real, but so are the questions about whether it can last.
And with all this new power comes the need for new rules. It's inevitable. On this one day, we see Singapore's central bank proposing a new rule to make senior banking execs personally responsible for AI-related risks. Think about that. That's a huge deal. It shows that governments are waking up and trying to figure out how to hold actual people accountable for what an AI does. It's not just about the code anymore, it's about who's in charge. And that whole thing about AI writing performance reviews, well, that sparked a total firestorm of debate. Questions about fairness, about bias, about what it even means to take human judgment out of a process that's so, human. These aren't just technical problems anymore. They're deeply, deeply human ones.
So, what's the big takeaway from our little 24-hour experiment? It's this. AI isn't just one story, it's not a tech story, it's not a business story, it's all of it. It's a story about global competition, about mind-boggling financial bets, about practical tools you can actually use, and about these huge new questions of who is responsible for what. It really is an entire machine, and every single part of it is accelerating, all at once.
And that brings us to the final thought here. Everything we just talked about, every single headline, every investment, every new product, every new ethical dilemma, that all happened in the span of just one day. So it leaves you with one pretty powerful question, doesn't it? If this was just one day, what on earth is tomorrow going to bring?